is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
First reading, a reading from the first book of Kings, chapter 21, verses 1 to 16. Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard in Jezreel, next to the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. Ahab said to Naboth, "Give me your vineyard to be my vegetable garden, since it is close by next to my house. I will give you a better vineyard in exchange, or if you prefer, I will give you its value in money." Naboth answered him, "The Lord forbid that I should give you my ancestral heritage." Ahab went home disturbed and angry at the answer Naboth the Jezreelite had made to him, "I will not give you my ancestral heritage." Lying down on his bed, he turned away from food and would not eat. His wife Jezebel came to him and said to him, "Why are you so angry that you will not eat?" He answered her, "Because I spoke to Naboth the Jezreelite and said to him, 'Sell me your vineyard, or if you prefer, I will give you a vineyard in exchange.' But he refused to let me have his vineyard." His wife Jezebel said to him, "A fine ruler over Israel you are indeed. Get up, eat and be cheerful. I will obtain the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite for you." So she wrote letters in Ahab's name, and having sealed them with his seal, sent them to the elders and to the nobles who lived in the same city with Naboth. This is what she wrote in the letters: "Proclaim a fast, and set Naboth at the head of the people. Next, get 2 scoundrels to face him, and accuse him of having cursed God and king. Then take him out and stone him to death." His fellow citizens, the elders and nobles who dwelt in his city, did as Jezebel had ordered them in writing, though through the letters she had sent them. They proclaimed a fast and placed Naboth at the head of the people. 2 scoundrels came in and confronted him with the accusation, "Naboth has cursed God and king." And they led him out of the city and stoned him to death. Then they sent the information to Jezebel that Naboth had been stoned to death. When Jezebel learned that Naboth had been stoned to death, she said to Ahab, "Go on, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, that he refused to sell you, because Naboth is not alive but dead." On hearing that Naboth was dead, Ahab started off on his way down to the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite to take possession of it. The word of the Lord.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew, chapter 5, verses 38 to 42. Jesus said to his disciples, "You have heard that it was said, 'An eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.' But I say to you, offer no resistance to the one who is evil. When someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn the other one to him as well. If anyone wants to go to law with you over your tunic, hand him over your cloak as well. Should anyone press you into service for 1 mile, go with him for 2 miles. Give to the one who asks of you, and do not turn your back on the one who wants to borrow." The Gospel of the Lord.
In this current situation in our country, during the last month or so, we saw how the attitude of revenge ultimately made a very big chaos in our country, and this chaos ultimately resulted for a unstable condition in our country, which we are going through during these days. So today, Jesus, he renewed one of the teachings of the Old Testament. He once said, I have come not to abolish the law, but to fulfill it. Therefore, these days we'll be hearing about the teachings of the Old Testament are being renewed by the teachings of Jesus. So today we come across such a teaching which was renewed by Jesus. And he started his teaching saying that in the Old Testament it was given an order saying an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, in which if someone would hurt you, if someone would attack you, in return you have the same authority to attack or to hurt him in the same manner, in the same measure. But today Jesus has changed this Old Testament commandment saying, do not oppose evil with evil. If someone slaps you on your right cheek, turn and offer the other. This is the teaching of Jesus, and he would rather say not to take revenge, but if someone would attack you, if someone would persecute you, accuse you, and put down on you, not to do the same in return. That is the standard in which we go down to the same area of the one who has already accused us, who has already attacked us. But we need to make a change. We need to be different in our aspect and in our attitude. That is not to retaliate once again against the attitudes of the other, but in order that we can answer these attitudes of hatred, of grudge, by the way of love. That is what Jesus wanted you and me, my dear friends, today. And that is why Jesus says very beautifully, taking into consideration, if someone sues you in court for your shirt, give him the coat. And if someone asks you to go on a mile, not to go on a mile, but to go 2 miles instead of 1. That is how, my dear friends, that we can show our love and show that the attitude we have is different rather than the other. And when we do act in such a way, what happens? We could change even the attitudes of the one who has accused me, who has sued me, who has forced me to do things of evil. And when such person experiences not retaliation, but instead of love and compassion, then we could change the heart of that person even as Jesus did. Therefore, let us recollect upon ourselves, how do I act on a situation of retaliation?